Alaha here. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. And if you're an existing subscriber, this is so hard to say. How you doing? Welcome back. Thanks for joining me. So these are my real teeth. This is what I look like. I'm actually a vampire and I just finished getting bit, biting somebody. You know how I do. So, if you haven't guessed, it's number one. Let me just say, it's very, very difficult to talk with these fangs. Very difficult. So, I'm going to do the best I can. Don't make fun of me, okay? Don't come for me in the comments. So, today I'm going to be showing you how to get this look here. It's a vampire. Duh. And, it's a glamorous vampire. You know, I got this little thing here. It's like a dark bridal kind of look. And got the fangs going, got the little bite wounds going because I just turned and I have to have my first meal to, you know, so I don't die and I become a vampire. If you guys want to learn how to get this vampire glam, dark glam look, please keep watching. And I also want to say that if you don't want to do the vampire thing, but you really want to do this like really smoky eye, then please keep watching and then you can skip all the rest of the vampire stuff. And yeah, so if you want to learn, please keep watching and I'd love to show you how to do it.
So the first thing I'm going to do is prime my face. You guys know the drill. I'm using Farsali Unicorn Essence primer. Just dropping this onto my face like little teardrops and then an extra one on my forehead and just buffing it into my skin with my hands for a nice smooth canvas. The next thing I'm going to do is go in with my Estee Lauder Maximum Coverage Double Wear Foundation. This is in the shade 11. It's about 4 or 5 shades lighter than my skin tone, even though it doesn't look like it on camera. And I'm going with my Morphe 439 brush, and I'm just buffing this into my skin for a nice, smooth finish. And you want to look as pale as hell because that's what vampires look like. You know, they get no sun at all. So that's why I look so ghostly. So normally my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer shade is light neutral, but this is a lot lighter than that. This is the shade Light, and my foundation's really light, so I have to go in with the light concealer. And I'm just going to highlight, and then I'm using my Makeup Bullet sponge, and I'm just blending out that concealer in the parts that I applied it. Then I'm going in with my CoverFX Translucent Setting Powder, and I'm just going to set the areas that I concealed and highlighted. Also, I took some of that concealer over my eyelids as a primer, so just set that as well. Blend out the creases and then set it with the powder as well. And then using a regular fluffy brush, this is by Loreal Lash, I just go in and I buff the translucent powder into the rest of my face to set that makeup. KatvonD Shade and Light palette. I'm going in with that really ashy color. I think the name of the color is Subconscious, and I wanted to have a more hollow cheek, if that makes sense. I wanted my cheekbones to really pop like vampires, so I'm dragging this not only down to my cheekbone area, but I'm also dragging it on the edges of my chin to give my face that sunken in deadly look. And then I'm also contouring the temples as well as my jawline because you want your face to be extremely chiseled. Using the first 2 colors in the palette, the light shades, I'm just gonna accentuate my cheekbones a little bit more by highlighting them. So I'm going with my NYX Cosmetics Jumbo Pencil in the shade Dark Brown. I kind of wish I didn't use this as a base because you'll see later on the eyeshadow just doesn't look as really blended, I should say, as I wanted it to on the lid, and I think it's because this jumbo pencil does tend to crease. I'm just applying this as my base and blending it out with the flat concealer brush. And using the NYX Cosmetics Fire palette, I absolutely adore this palette. I'm going with that beautiful maroon shade and I'm just setting that dark brown in place. Again, you'll see it looks a little splotchy. You can't really tell, but because I have all these lights on, you're able to see it. But when you would just look in the mirror, or like if someone's looking at you, they won't be able to tell. Then I'm going into this mauve tone and I'm blending this into my crease with my Vasanti eye contour brush. I love how small this brush is and it fits into that crease perfectly. I don't saturate the brush with this color. I just kind of use whatever's already on my eyelid, and I'm just using this color as a transition to blend it all out, if that makes sense. Next, I'm using this beautiful red shade, and I'm just applying this to the crease area again to kind of warm it up and make it look a little bit more red. I wanted more of like a cranberry dark smoky eye. I didn't want it to just look brown and black, so that's why I'm applying the red to bring that warmth back into the look. Then I'm going into the dark maroon shade again, and I'm just buffing this into my lower lash line with a flat shader brush. And again, to warm it up, I'm going to go in with that red shade and kind of warm it up and make it look more red and more intense, because I just love the look. I wanted to deepen this color on the lower lash line a little bit, so I go in with that dark brown shade and I just darken it a bit. I'm going in with my Marc Jacobs black eyeliner, and I'm just lining my waterline, and then I'm also tight lining by shutting my eye closed onto the eyeliner. Please don't do this if you don't have experience. You can poke your eye out. Then going in with an LA Girl skinny eye pen, just draw the little wing out in the corners, and the lashes I'm wearing are the Royalty Lashes by Flutter Lashes. Then going in with that maroon color, I'm drawing little veins in the under eye area. I'm going to drag this down all the way to the sides or edges of my nostrils. It doesn't have to be very uniform. That's the thing about this look, is it has to be very different. Each vein has to look a little different, so don't do them all the same. Next, I'm just going to line my lips with the Huda Beauty lip contour in the color Vixen. And then the first color I went in with the liquid lipstick was the shade Famous by Huda Beauty, but I kind of messed up. I meant to go in with Vixen first. So I'm using the shade Vixen, not this one here, but the next color I put on to just kind of line the outer parts of my lips, since it's a darker burgundy. And then I'm using that shade Famous to add some red to my lips. Then going in with my Ben Nye nose and scar wax, I just take a little bit of this and I kind of roll it into my hands, make a little ball, and then flatten it out like a pancake. And I place this on my neck. And to blend out the edges, I'm using a little spatula tool to just kind of blend out the edges of this scar wax to have it blend into my neck. So it doesn't look lumpy or anything like that. And then I'm going to do the same exact thing with the incision site of the bottom one. I hope I'm making sense. And then using that spatula, I'm just carving out little holes into those little pieces of the scar wax to kind of make it look like bite marks, if that makes sense. Next, I'm going to use Clear Latex by Ben Nye, and I'm just going to apply this around the edges of the scar wax to just kind of give it a coat of latex. One, because scar wax is very sticky, and two, because I want to blend it out better and make sure that this stays in place. Because I didn't use spirit gum. If I used spirit gum, it would have been a different story, so this thing can fall off my face. Then I'm just applying these fangs. I got mine from Amazon. You can get them from any costume store. Then I go in with a dark concealer. The reason why I'm doing this is because that area that the scar wax and the latex is on, it's going to look a lot lighter than the rest of your skin. So by applying a darker concealer, this is just by Cinema Secrets, you're kind of adding some color to it. Then I go in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in my regular shade, not the light one. This is in light neutral. And I'm just applying this over those, the scar wax and all that extra stuff, just to kind of blend it into my skin. And using the Sigma Beauty Cor de Rosa Aura Powder Blush, I'm applying this around the edges of the scar wax to make it look very bruised and irritated. Next, I'm going with my Ben Nye Fresh Scab Gel, and I'm just applying a little bit of this into each of those incision sites to make it look more realistic. Then going in with my Ben Nye Stage Blood, and I'm just going to drip a little bit of this into each little hole to kind of have the blood dripping down to make it look more real. To take this look to the next level, I'm using that stage blood and I'm just applying it to a stipple sponge and stippling this around the incision sites to make it look as if blood splattered when the vampire bit me. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of that stage blood and apply it to the edges of my mouth to make it look like, you know, I made a mess when I was feasting on some human blood. Then going in with my KD 151 Theatrical Light Mouth Blood Syrup, I just put this into my mouth so it looks like, you know, I just had a delicious meal. And then I'm just applying this black little net to my hair to give it a cooler, more glam look. And that's it!
Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. As always, if you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and then subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And also, please don't forget to follow me on all my other social media outlets. I have Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. All of that is at MAKEUPBYALAHA. It's super, super easy to find me. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and turn on the bell notifications so you guys are notified every time I upload a new video. I have been on a roll lately. I've been trying to do at least 2 Halloween looks every week, and then I'm also doing, you know, like eyes that you can wear without having to get into all the SFX or like the Halloween looks. You can still wear like the eye makeup. I try to do it that way so you guys can get the best of both worlds, and I don't want to skip out on the makeup, but then I also don't want to skip out on the once a year Halloween thing. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I love you guys so much. Thanks for always being so supportive, and I'll see you guys next time.